Hey, welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And this is Questions, Coffee, and Cars 202. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday I put a post out asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
200th episode. Wow. So happy for you too. My 2024 Subaru came with a wireless phone charger. However, I find it to be very slow and inconsistent. Most of the time I end up using a USB cord for charging. Have automotive wireless phone chargers improved over time? Are there some car makers who offer some really good wireless phone chargers? I definitely think they've improved over time. The technology has gotten better. What I find about these chargers is that they typically make your phone super hot and they don't charge that fast. I use a USB-C cord in our Mazda.
It's really yours.
MX-5.
Let's just call it what it is, Andrea.
And I gotta say, it charges up so fast. It's amazing.
So wireless chargers are getting better. What year was this one, did it say? Anyway,
let me see. 2024.
Yeah, and sometimes you have brands where the technology is in the car is from several years ago and they haven't updated it. They do have faster wireless chargers, and their new trend, which is excellent, is that they have a cooled pad. So I kind of remember which General Motors, and General Motors is particularly good at this kind of stuff, where they have a little notch or hole in the wireless and it blows air with a fan to cool it. So you've got the charger that's fast and it cools it. Because when you're using Android and Apple wirelessly, it uses a lot of power.
Yeah.
And so that's good. So anyway, yes, the answer to your question is they are improving it.
I think the Subaru one in particularly is slow from what I remember, and I remember my phone getting hot. You can speak to that because you have the model, but yeah, they're improving. It just depends on which charger.
Okay, one quick one, just we'll move on, is even the wired is getting faster. So a fast wired charger is 45 watts or 50 watts. With the Mercedes-Benz, the new CLA was 50 watts. And then we got in the new Hyundai Palisade 100-watt charger. Now, it has to be plugged in, but man, that is fast.
It's super fast. Hi from New Orleans. Love your channel. Subscribed. Good. We like that you've subscribed. Trying to decide between the Highlander or the Santa Fe hybrid. If the third row is not a top priority but needed from time to time, is there one you recommend over the other? 3, 2, 1.
Are we going to do a 3, 2, 1?
Sure, we can do a 3, 2, 1.
Very different looking. So this is not the Grand Highlander, just the regular Highlander.
Hybrid.
You know what you're
Hybrid
gonna
and
choose?
hybrid.
Hybrid and hybrid.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Highlander.
Just for resale.
Resale value, but also it's been around a long time. That Santa Fe hybrid is new, right? But I did some research and went to Consumer Reports to see what the difference is, what Consumer Reports would recommend. Interestingly enough, the Highlander hybrid has a reliability score of 64 out of 100, and the Santa Fe hybrid a predicted reliability score of 61 out of 100, but both get an overall score of 81 out of 100 and 4 out of 5 for owner's satisfaction. So it's not like there's a huge difference between the two, but you're always going to have better resale value with a Toyota.
So one of the issues you have on select models of Santa Fe, you're basically forced to take captain's chairs. So if you're not using the third row, it's basically a four-seater, which is might be perfectly fine for you. But I'm in the Toyota's been doing it a long time. The only other thing, though, is the Santa Fe has a 6-speed automatic transmission, and the Highlander is an ECVT. One is definitely more rewarding to drive, and that's the Santa Fe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would agree with that. And when you say 4-passenger, you mean 6-passenger,
Yeah,
right?
but if you're not using the third row, it's just
want to
4-passenger.
clarify, that's all. But I would still go Highlander hybrid. I think it's, like I said, been around a long time. It's comfortable. It doesn't offer a big third row at all, but you said you might not need it very often. Are you going to review the Volvo XC40 2026 and the XC60? Thing about the XC60 is we've been invited on 2 drive events for that, and both of them we couldn't attend because we were on different programs.
It's inbound. Apparently it's on a train or a bus or a truck or a Uber on its way here. So
Yeah.
as soon as it arrives, we'll get it.
We want to do it when they're in the press fleet. We'll definitely do it. Hi, Zach and Andrea. I've been following your channel for almost 3 years since I moved to beautiful BC. I'm at a fork again where I'm torn between practicality and fun. My mind and my wife tell me to go for the 2026 Santa Fe Hybrid. Price doesn't make sense to me and don't want to wait. But my heart tells me to get Silverado EV or a used C63 AMG. Hyundai's been great for me with the lower service cost, and reliability has been great. Please help me choose. Can't shake off the listen to your wife chant in my head either. Currently, we have a 2021 Santa Fe and a 2022 Elantra, and I blame COVID for these purchases.
Well, guys, you're all listening to this and you all know the answer. Whatever his wife wants, his wife is going to get.
Too bad your wife doesn't.
That's the way it goes, right, hon?
Yeah, I think that's the problem for you right now. But
that's
I wish your wife really would want the C63 AMG.
Well, this is the oddest mix of cars.
Totally
so
odd.
You've got
Silverado EV. I say no go on that one
Silverado
myself.
EV, so a big ass truck, which is electric. Okay, that's an option. And then a C63 AMG, and you drive a Santa Fe.
He drives a Santa Fe and an Elantra.
This is a real mixed bag. I think he's pulling our leg.
No, I don't think so. I think he really wants the C63 AMG. Maybe the Silverado EV. I wouldn't get the Silverado EV just because of depreciation, but if you have a level 2 charger at home or you're willing to invest in one, then sure. A lot of people like the instant acceleration of electric vehicles.
Okay, so the Santa Fe isn't old, right?
No.
So let your wife continue to drive that, and she's probably very happy driving the Santa Fe.
Yeah.
And then you get the C63 AMG.
Unless she wants a hybrid because she's trying to save fuel.
Well, then why are you thinking about an AMG?
That's just his mind.
That's just a gas-guzzling pig.
Look, I think you're just out of luck here. If your wife wants a new vehicle,
you're getting a Santa Fe hybrid.
Yeah, I think you're going to be getting the Santa Fe hybrid. I mean, it is the practical choice. Could you get rid of both vehicles, or do you need to keep the Elantra and then have the Santa Fe? What would we do? Like, what would we seriously do if those were our 3 choices?
I would keep the Santa Fe as the family buggy, which is not even old.
No.
And get the AMG, just to get it out of your system.
But I wonder if they...
And make sure it's certified pre-owned and is under warranty, because there is nothing more expensive than a high-performance German car out of warranty.
But you'll have fun.
Ask me how I know.
You'll have fun with it. What I don't understand here is that your Santa Fe that you own is a 5-passenger. It doesn't have a 3rd row. So then I'm thinking maybe your wife wants a 3rd row, but then why do you have the Silverado on there?
Okay, I think we've gone around in circles enough. I think they're pulling our leg.
Okay. Which is a high seating budget car you recommend evaluating?
What is a high seating?
He wants a higher seating position. The problem with
Land
cars...
Rover. You're going to buy a Land Rover.
No, but the problem with cars is that they all sit pretty low. Camry is better, but that's not a budget-friendly vehicle.
Okay, I'm confused. Read it again.
Which is a high seating budget car you recommend?
Oh, I see. I thought no budget.
No.
I was going to say get a Land Rover, a Range Rover.
So you can't, Honda Accord is better. Those mid-size sedans are better than if you were to go with a compact sedan. So for me, what I would do for budget-friendly, I would get a subcompact SUV, but I would get a used one. Something like the Kia Seltos. It really does have a higher seating position. Also, the Kia Soul is pretty good, and the Mazda CX-30 isn't too bad for seating position, but you're going to have to get used on all of them. Upcoming CX-5 versus refreshed Tiguan. I'm always up for a CX-5, but space was a concern, so I chose Tiguan. Since the upcoming CX-5 has more space, what is your suggestion?
Well, we have
So
to.
it sounds like you already bought the Tiguan?
Listen. We haven't driven the CX-5. We haven't even seen it in person. There was a European event where just a couple of people got to see the vehicle in Europe. And we're disappointed we didn't get a chance to do that walk around, because then we could give you much more information. All we're doing is showing you the images and telling you what's in the press release. So it's a bigger vehicle using the same power plant, the non-turbo 2.5 liter, which we think is not the right move. They are coming with a hybrid, which will have more power. But that car, you reached out to PR and we thought maybe we'd be driving it this fall. That's not the case, is it?
Nope.
When are we getting it? In the spring.
Next spring, 2026, and the hybrid's not coming until 2027. It is bigger. It's 4.5 inches longer, and Mazda is claiming best in class second rear legroom. So you're telling me that's going to be bigger than the CRV, the Tucson, and the Sportage.
So that's going to be a big vehicle. The thing is, Tiguan's no slouch either. It's a roomy car. They certainly upgraded the interior. It's way nicer. Tiguan is also very big, and it has 2 engine choices, and we're going to be driving the high performance turbo model in the next month or so. So we're looking forward to that. But I just think what you could do is, if you want a Tiguan, you could do a short-term lease.
Yeah.
And then you could flip into a CX-5 when it becomes available, like a 2-year lease, something like that.
The thing is about Volkswagen, reliability isn't that great, so that's a tricky one. But that's up to you to decide for yourself if reliability, dependability is number 1 on your list.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Mazda with new introductions haven't gone swimmingly either.
But it's the same powertrain.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for the hybrid when it comes,
hybrid,
is it going to be as smooth as the CX 70 and 90? I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see, because if you're going to stick with the old powertrain, yeah, that's proven.
Yeah, and also that hybrid's not coming till 2027, so you've got a bit of a wait. If you need a vehicle now, then Tiguan is the one you want. Been watching a lot of your reviews lately, and I'm keen to know about the new Honda CR-V. When can we expect to get a major update in the CR-V lineup? Is it in 2027? Well, they just did a refresh, so for sure it is not going to be 2027 for a whole redesign.
I'm just trying to remember. Okay, so what is 2 years? 2 years ago they came out with the new one, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's just back this up. 25, 23, and that was 2019. They brought out the RAV4, so 2026. So we could be living with this CR-V for many years still. And they might do another mid-cycle refresh. So what you do is you look back at the cadence of when vehicles were introduced and just multiply that again. So yes, I think we're kind of stuck with this CR-V for a while.
Well, I think that people are disappointed because it's lacking features compared to the competition, and they're looking for ventilated front seats and a panoramic sunroof, 360 camera. These things are just not available on the CR-V. Although it's a wonderful hybrid system, you're certainly paying for that too. Pricing is quite high on that. So I think we are stuck with this CR-V for a while.
But these are things they could address. They could put the seats and stuff in, and cameras as a mid-cycle refresh in maybe another couple of years. But yeah, as a wholesale change of the vehicle, I think we're with this one for years.
Yeah. My 2010 Kia Forte has reached its last legs. I want to replace it with either a PHEV Sportage 2026 or go full EV and wait for the EV5. I live in Edmonton, so I worry about battery degradation in the winter. Is it wise to go full EV? Any insight on EV9 cost, release date?
I think you meant EV5 release date.
Oh, what did I say?
EV9.
Oh, yeah, EV5. Sorry, you did say EV5.
Yeah, so EV5, if you're not familiar, is basically similar size to the Kia Sportage or a Tucson, but it's a full electric. It actually looks really cool. We did a
really
cool
good
little walk around of it. They showed it in Toronto. And the reason why it was done there and not done at a big international auto show is that vehicle is not going to be sold in the United States. It's only going to be sold in Canada.
And it's going to be made in South Korea. Originally, it was going to be made in China. Well, that's all moved now to South Korea. So yeah, it's not coming to the US, just to Canada. It was supposed to arrive in the spring, and now they're saying maybe the end of the year. So we don't really have a cost on it, and we don't have a release date, but it is based on the 400-volt architecture, and Kia tells us that these vehicles that are based on the 400 volt will be more affordable options than others like the EV9 or the EV6. So we have to wait for the pricing on that. I really like the new Sportage. I think the plug-in hybrid is excellent, but I also like the hybrid. We're actually driving it this week and we went to pick it up. Zach drove the new Ford Expedition home and I drove the Sportage hybrid, and I'm really impressed with not only the comfort level but also the quietness of the hybrid. Plug-in hybrid's a little bit different, of course, but I don't know. It's up to you. Do you have the charging infrastructure at home? You should really have a level 2 charger.
The only thing I would say about having a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid in a cold climate like Edmonton is that on those really cold days, the gas engine is going to be on pretty much the whole time because you're generating heat with the internal combustion engine that heats the heater core, which provides cabin heat. They don't have heat pumps on those cars, especially the plug-in, and they will probably, I would assume, on the full electric. Plus, you can precondition. I wonder, yeah, you can precondition the electric car so when you get it in the morning, the bum warmers are on, the cabin's warm. You can do all of that. So that's something to consider.
And I wouldn't worry so much about battery degradation in the cold temperatures because.
Range, yeah.
It's more range. It's not about battery degradation. Your battery will be fine. There's a warranty on your battery. And what I would recommend is use a level 3 charger sparingly. If you do decide to go with the EV5, you will protect the battery much more when it comes to degradation if you use a level 2. It's fine when you're on the road. Yeah, but you know, if you need it, but it's better to use a level 2 more often, and Hyundai and Kia will tell you that.
Okay, so what I would suggest is, Andrew and I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to be driving the EV5 soon. We don't know for sure. There is a mystery event that we're attending.
In Seoul.
And we don't know what the car is. I thought maybe it was the Kia Telluride. We're going with Kia, obviously.
No.
And then I said to Andrea, I know what it is. It's the EV5. So my guess it's that. And they're taking a lot of journalists that vote on North American and World Car.
Yeah.
So my guess that's what it is.
Yeah, so we will wait and see on that. But if it is the EV5, then look out for our review. We'll be in Seoul at the end of September. When you point out some flaws or make a negative critical remark about a car in your review, do you get any backlash from the manufacturers? If yes, how do you handle it? And has it cost you any future opportunities?
Well, no, because I think it's all in the way you do it. If you can say something and then you can back it up, then what can they say? And I'll give you the perfect answer. I've never had it from a manufacturer. I mean, kind of jokingly, Stephen Beatty said something to you about a hybrid, but he didn't really complain about our video from a Toyota. Well, Andrew will tell you that story in a second. But if there's anything that's ever come back, it's been a dealer. And this was early on when I started reviewing cars, and I said something about a Volvo. And I said, well, let me just have a bet with you. When this car is updated, what I complained about, I can't remember what it was, will be changed.
No AM radio?
I can't remember what it was. This was like in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
And, but often when we complain about something, it is changed or updated in a facelift or when a full model cycle refresh. So that kind of proves that way maybe we were right.
It did happen with one Rivian. We had the pickup
forgot
truck.
about that.
Yeah, we reviewed it. We said some things we really liked about it and some things we didn't like about it.
Mostly the price.
Mostly the price. And we had the SUV booked the next week and they pulled it from us.
Yeah, but it wasn't something that we said about the product. It was that we thought it was too expensive.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, maybe we're not a right fit for you.
Yeah,
so that's the only time. I totally forgot about that. But just like a large car brand, no, they never say anything.
No, they've never said a thing. I think they actually take that information and then change it in the future, because we've seen that. Like, I'll complain about manufacturers not offering more bench seat options in a 3-row SUV, where those top trims are all captain's chairs. And I remember we were at the Toronto Auto Show with and we went to the Ford booth to do the new Explorer, and they came right up and were like, by the way, a bench seat is offered on almost all trims. And I was like, wow, that's awesome, you guys.
And we've been beating the drum about the piano black on the inside of cars, and we have spoken to head designers of big car brands that you know, and they said, we hear you. And so
piano black.
So that's one we beat on. There's certain things we harp on, and you can see the front of the ship is slowly starting to shift on some of these things.
Yeah, and it was interesting. We both said that the Land Cruiser had their 4-cylinder, that hybrid was a bit buzzy. And then I would say after the review went out, maybe a week later, we were at an event and Stephen Beattie was there, the vice president, or former vice president of Toyota Canada. And him and I, we were just like talking about whatever, life in general. And then all of a sudden he said, so, Andrea.
No, it went like this. So. That's the way Stephen would talk.
Let's talk about that buzzy 4-cylinder. And then I said, oh, you watched? And he goes, of course I watched. Anyway, he wasn't upset. We just had a discussion about it. But
we're right. It is too noisy.
We were right. We were right.
All right, so how do you get a question in, Andrea?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday I put a post out on Instagram asking for questions. Once we gather them, the post is deleted and we start the show. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.